Hey everyone, it's Cindy and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate having you here. Do consider subscribing to make sure you don't miss out on any of my videos. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the little bell icon and you will get notified when my videos go up so that you don't have to go looking for them. And I think that's everything I've got to say on that. So thank you for being here. Today's video is a replay of the Feel Good Friday that happened on the 7th of July, and in this video I'll be sharing with you how you can ditch bad habits for good. So if that's something you want to find out more about, or you just want to catch the replay, then just keep watching. Hello and good morning to you. It's Feel Good Friday and today we are talking about how to ditch bad habits for good. And I'm really looking forward to sharing this information with you. I think you're going to find it really useful and you can go away and use what I'm teaching you to start having a positive impact in your life right away. So I'm really excited about this. If you don't know me, if we haven't met before, my name is Cindy Davis. I'm the Feel Good Coach and I help people to deal with whatever it is that's stopping them from being really successful and happy and having the work-life balance that they want and all of that stuff. And so some of that can be down to bad habits that they've got, some of it can be down to repeated patterns and all that kind of thing. So we're going to get into that a little bit more in a little while, but that's the kind of stuff I deal with. People come to me when they know what they need to be doing and they just don't do it and they don't really know why, or they don't do it consistently, and so they're not getting the results they want. And so that's me. It's lovely to meet you if it's your first time seeing my face, and let's get into the content because I want to make sure that this is really, really valuable for you. So if you're out there watching, then do please comment or hit the like button or something like that so that I know you're there, and let's get into it. So bad habits are really important because I deal with them a lot in my coaching, because 80% of our day we're basically in a trance. We're not actually paying attention to what we're doing, and that includes our thinking habits as well. So we have all of these habits going on and all of this part of our day that we're not even consciously aware of. We're just going through the motions, and we've all got experience of doing that, and I'll talk about a few of those examples in a minute. But I want to get straight into what can we do to start to ditch these bad habits. So step one is to talk about what is a habit. Hi Tina, lovely to see you. Step one, yes, where was I? Sorry, I get so distracted when people comment because it's so lovely. So hi, it's lovely to see you. Step one is about finding out about what is a habit. What is it? What is it actually? So all it is, the easiest way to describe it, it's kind of a shortcut that we have evolved to run, this shortcut, so that it makes everything a lot easier in our day. Because if you think about making a cup of tea, and if you had to go and think about, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, get the kettle, I have to put some water in it, I have to work a tap, so work the tap, fill the, how much do I put in? I don't really know, so I've got to work out how much to put in, then I've got to put the lid on and put it back on its base, and then what do? I have to switch it on, yeah, I have to do that, yeah. And then I have to wait for it to boil, and then while that's happening, there's other stuff I have to do. So imagine if you had to think about all of that every time you made a cup of tea, or coffee, or whatever your drink is. I'm a tea belly, I love my tea. So it's just a way that our brains came up with as we evolved and became more intelligent, so that we didn't have to think about every single little thing. And that's just a habit. So making a cup of tea is a habit, and I have a habit. As soon as I get in the door, I put the kettle on and I make a cup of tea, regardless of whether I've just left somewhere where I've just had a cup of tea. I just have this habit that I come in, I put the kettle on. You can hear bad news quite often as British people. We go and put the kettle on for a cup of tea because tea helps everything. And let me know if you agree with that, because I definitely think tea is the a panacea for all sorts of ailments. Gosh, my words are really mixed up. We're in for a good one today. It's going to be fun. Okay, so it's just a shortcut, and we're driving, and so it's like we're driving on autopilot. When you go home from a long day, you've been at work or you've been at meetings or something, and you get home and you think, gosh, I don't even remember the journey home. It's just another habit. It's just a shortcut so that we can get home without having to use up all our brains to think about every single little bit of driving and the route and all that stuff. So shortcuts are brilliant, and we use them all day, every day, and we don't even know we're doing it. So that is what a habit is. I'm just going to update my thingy. Okay, so what's a bad habit? Because we have all these habits in 80% of the day, and it's there to help us, and that's brilliant. So why do they become bad habits? And when they're bad habits, they're impacting on your quality of life, or the levels of happiness in your life, or they're impacting on your ability to reach your goals, whatever your goals may be. And so when we have habits that we're not aware of and they're impacting on our goals, that can become a real problem, because we don't even know we're doing it, and we don't understand why we're not getting where we want to get to. But it's because we have these habits that are going on. So you'll be aware of some bad habits that you have that maybe hold you back, and I'm certainly aware of some that I've got, but there'll be lots and lots of habits as well that you're not aware of. They're under your conscious awareness, and a lot of the time when people do mindfulness, that brings a lot of that stuff up to our conscious awareness, because you're actually more aware of what you're doing in every moment, as opposed to just bimbling along doing the same things you did yesterday. And I talk about limiting beliefs and thinking habits a lot, because thinking habits are very, very similar. You know, we have 80% of the day we're just thinking the same things we thought yesterday, and we're not even aware that we're doing it. And the way that we're thinking is also impacting on how we feel, how we act and behave, and therefore the results we get. So if you are not getting the results that you want to be getting, you definitely need to be looking at what are your thinking habits and what are your behavioural habits that might be getting in your way. So let's think about a habit. So I want you to pick a bad habit that you might have. And it could be anything, and it might not be like an awful habit, just like a slightly bad habit, whatever it is. Mine, I'll put my hand up and say, is if I've had a long day, a tiring day, I've worked really hard, my brain's frazzled from being on the computer all day, I've been editing videos and it didn't go well, any of that kind of stuff. I had a really good day. I have a habit of having a glass of wine with my dinner to celebrate, to calm down, to take the edge off, whatever. So that's a bad habit I've got. And I know it's a bad habit because it does impact on my goals, my health goals, and it does impact on my quality of life, because I'm pretty sure that if I wasn't drinking wine nearly every occasion I could, then I would feel a bit brighter in the mornings. What do you reckon? Is that a good one? So you pick one that you want to think about. Mine's going to be my habit of having wine more than I probably should. So what you've got to think of now, step 2, is what is this habit doing for you? What's it doing for you? Because that habit is in place, is serving a purpose, it's doing something that is kind of like a hidden benefit for you. So I'll give you a second to think about that. There's always an upside with a habit, even if it feels like a bad habit, if it's impacting on what you want to achieve. It's doing something for you. What is it that it's doing for you? So for me, wine is helping me to relax, shall we say. It's helping me to relax. It's soothing me. It's kind of one of those things that's sort of built into our culture. So it's like being part of something. So there's lots of benefits to me of having that habit. Other people can identify with it. So you can all like have a chat around a table full of people, and you know that some people are going to have that same habit. So you can kind of, you know, have a chat and be part of a gang. There's so many benefits for me of having that wine as a habit. And I don't even know, most of the time, I'm not even aware that I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, how can I have a glass of wine? And I pour myself a glass of wine and I sit down and I drink it. And it's fine. Nothing wrong with it at all. But it's something that I want to change. And therefore, it's something that I need to look at. So what's the upside for you, for your habit that you're looking at? So you don't have to tell me what the habit is, but comment below and let me know what is the upside. What's it doing for you? What's its purpose? Just let me know that down below in the comments. And then we're going to move on to step 3. So what we're doing here is we're getting clarity. Clarity is so important. It makes everything easier to work with. Bringing things up to our conscious awareness so that we can actually do something with them. Because when it's all happening unconsciously, there's nothing we can do about it. We need to bring it up to our conscious awareness, and then we can do something about it. So let's look at the next step. Hopefully you've got your upside for your habit. Step 3. What is the downside of ditching this habit? What will you lose? What will you lose if you ditch this habit? So the downside, if I ditch my habit of having wine for celebrating, commiserating, and relaxing and soothing and all those things that I use it for, what the downside is that I'm gonna lose all of those things. I'm gonna lose being part of that gang. I won't be able to identify with those people anymore when they go, oh gosh, I had such a bad day and I went and had some wine, and then, you know, blah, blah, blah. I won't be able to join in with that because I won't have that I won't have that experience anymore. Okay, and then another downside would be I wouldn't have that method of soothing myself. Well, I have lots of other methods I can use, but we're going to get onto that. Another downside is how will I celebrate? Well, I might keep that one. I kind of like that one, but just be mindful of how often I'm celebrating, perhaps, because I'm sure I could find something to celebrate every day with wine if I chose to, because I'm pretty clever like that. So what's the downside? It says I can show this. Let me see if I can show it. Does it show? No, it doesn't show. Okay, so what's the downside? I'll just show step 3. It's not helpful. See if I can put it in there. Learning with this system every week. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Okay, no worries. So what is the downside of ditching it? Have a think about that. Write it in the comments if you want to. The downside, what are you missing out on if you let go of this habit? So for instance, for smokers, I know that Hetty, lovely Hetty, was commenting earlier and asking me if she can see the replay and if it will help her with stopping smoking. Definitely, this process that we're going through will help with stopping smoking. Sometimes there are deeper levels, or it's more kind of unconscious and hidden, or it needs a bit more work to clear it. But by all means, this process can easily help with something like smoking. It could be biting your nails, picking the skin around your fingers. It could be road rage, could be a bad habit, all sorts of habits, all sorts of habits. But what's the downside of letting go of it? The downside of letting go of smoking is, of course, very similar to my wine one. Morning, Libby, lovely to see you. The downside for me, when I used to smoke years and years ago before I had my kids, and again, it was the soothing, the calming, the being part of something, because a lot more people smoke then, and all that kind of thing. So you lose, again, all of those things when you give up the habit. So it's being aware of what you're losing is just as important as being aware of what the upside is. So hopefully you've got that. I've gone on and on about it. I'm going to stop now. We're going to go on to step 4. So step 4 is now we've got to look at how are we going to fill that need? How are we going to replace whatever that's doing for us with something else so that we don't need that habit anymore? Okay, let's have a look. Tina's just commented. Going to bed late, not sure what the benefit is. Well, the benefit could be that there's lots of hidden benefits to going to bed late. This is a brilliant one, Tina. Thank you for raising this. So going to bed late when you know you should go to bed earlier is one of them. Is there's kind of like a rebellion in there, isn't there? It's like when you're a kid and you get told to go to bed and you just want to stay up later, and now you're a grown up, you can stay up as late as you want. So you get a benefit, you get a kickback of feeling like, yeah, I'm staying up late and you can't tell me any different. And that would be you talking to yourself, but you know, that's the way we work. So another benefit that you might be getting from going to bed late is you might get to watch certain things on TV, or you might get to feel like you can wind down better if you stay up later. You might find wine comes into it, and all that kind of stuff, and you get to, you know, have an excuse to stay in bed later in the mornings. So there's lots of benefits to going to bed later than you feel like you really want to. So the downside of letting go of that belief, that habit is going to be, you know, missing out on those things. And chocolate. You've got a chocolate habit, have you, Tina? Well, look, and again, chocolate probably is very similar to the foodie and things we put in our mouth. It appears to be that those kind of habits tend to be about that self-soothing thing, and it gives us some kind of pleasure, and quite often it's quite a hardwired pleasure, especially with sweet foods like chocolate, because when we're children we're given sweets. You know, if we're sad we get given a sweetie to make us feel better. If we're good we get okay, good. All right, so lots happening in the comments. Sorry, I don't know if I've been in and out. I don't know what's happening, but hopefully you can see me now. There's been a couple of comments. So Tina has been having chocolate before she goes to bed really late. Again, that's something that you're going to miss out on when you stop going to bed late. But what's stopping you having chocolate earlier? If you want chocolate, you can have chocolate earlier. That's easy. And Libby, I'm trying to let go of negative self-talk. Absolutely brilliant one. So again, negative self-talk is a habit. We're doing it all the time, and it's something that we can let go of. But what is the upside of that negative talk? Because it's doing you a benefit. So you've got to find what the benefit is for you of that negative talk. So sometimes there's a part of us that thinks that talking to ourselves negatively is going to motivate us. And so that's what the upside is. It might appear to be motivating, but in reality, long term, it's not motivating at all. But what you might miss out on is that part of you might think that you won't be motivated anymore if you don't talk to yourself that way. So that could be one of the ways that negative self-talk habit could be giving you benefits. Whatever we're doing that is holding us back and stopping us, it's always coming from a positive place. It's always part of us just trying to keep us safe or keep us moving or whatever we're trying to do. And it's doing it the best way it knows how. It's just not up to date with how we want to live our lives. And so always bear in mind that these things have a positive root cause, even though it might not seem like it. So how can you feel that need without having that habit? So for me, let's use the wine example again. So how can I fulfill the things that the wine does for me without having wine? So the soothing part, I could do some tapping if I wanted to. For the calming down and relaxing, I could do some meditation. For the celebrating, I could do something else, but I think I'm going to keep wine because I do like celebrating with wine. Excuse me. And what else did I say? Winding down, again, meditation. So I could replace a couple of those reasons why I have wine with something else, and I could make that decision to do that. So what are the things that you can do instead of using that habit to get the things that it's giving you? So Tina, for you, how's it going to work with going to bed early? If it helps you go, yeah, up yours, I'm going to bed when I like, or if it helps you wind down more, or if it's helping you fit in extra chocolate, or whatever it's doing, those benefits that you've discovered, how can you fulfill those benefits in a different way? And Libby, if your negative self-talk is to try and motivate you, for instance, which might not be your reason, but that's the one I use as an example. If you're using negative self-talk to motivate yourself, what other ways can you motivate yourself that are different to negative self-talk? And again, you know, as I said earlier, sometimes this stuff can have much deeper things underneath it. There can be lots of layers. And if you've got anything like that where you feel like it's just going through this process yourself on your own isn't going to be enough, then I will let you know how you can do something about that later. But it's about finding different ways to give you the same benefits, but without the downside. So you might need to go away and do this on, you know, scribble it out on a piece of paper later. You can watch the video back. Hopefully it's recording okay and the replay will be all right. And you can just watch it and do the process in your own time and actually give yourself the space to think about what this habit is, how you can replace this habit. So Tina says, if I go to bed earlier, I could get up earlier and just do everything earlier in the day. This is very true. You could. You could very easily do that. And let's think about what are the benefits of being up earlier and doing those things earlier in the day. Let's sort of start to make that feel more attractive as well. So thinking about the benefits of what you're doing instead. So again, with me, going back to the wine, if I was to do meditation instead of having wine to wind down and relax at the end of the day, I will find myself relaxing a lot more than I ever do with wine. That's one benefit. I will be more creative, because when I meditate I get much more creative and I have lots of ideas. I will also not feel groggy in the morning. I will feel refreshed in the morning. So there's 3 benefits just from swapping wine to meditation for winding down. And if I swap wine for a different way of soothing, like tapping, so say I've had a hard day or something's gone wrong and I need to soothe myself, instead of using wine, I could choose tapping. And if I do some tapping, not only will I be clearing it in that moment, but I'm likely to be clearing it sort of further back, deeper as well. So I'm less likely to have the same reaction next time. So I'd have a much more far-reaching effect than just sticking plaster wine. Because wine's just a sticking plaster. It doesn't really help anything long term. All it does is makes me feel better in that moment. But actually tapping can do the same thing, make me feel better in that moment, but also have a longer term positive effect. So there's loads and loads of benefits for me to swap wine in those circumstances to something else. So hopefully you're getting a picture of how you can do this for yourself. If you're not sure how this applies to your habit that you want to work on, do please comment below and let me know, or drop me a message through my page, and I promise, get back to you and help you discover what what you could use in order to replace your habit. So we're going to move on to step 5, because time is marching on as always in these masterclasses, because I've got so much to say and I want to tell you everything all at once, but I don't want to overwhelm you, so it's kind of finding a balance. Step 5 now we're on to. You've got to create this new habit to replace the old one. So once you've found the thing that you can do instead, you've got to create a habit that's going to become as unconscious and as automatic as the old habit was. But this habit's going to be a positive supporting habit, as opposed to one that is taking you further away from your goals. So my habit will become, if I choose to, which I think I will, because this is sounding pretty good to me right now, instead of reaching for wine at the end of the day, I will build into my day, when I switch off my computer, some time to do some tapping, and then some time to go and sit on my bed and meditate, because I always sit on my bed to meditate, and just to have as little as 20 minutes will refresh me so much more than wine. So that's my new habit. It's to tap when I switch off my computer and tap away any stress that's built up through the day, because there's always stress. No matter how chilled I am, there's still a higher level of stress from sitting in front of a computer than there is at the start of the day. So I'm going to tap away my stress when I switch off my computer, and then I'm going to go and meditate every evening for 20 minutes, maybe 15, depending how much time I've got, just to chill out and relax before I even head downstairs. My office is upstairs. So that means that I will replace the need for wine to soothe me, and I will replace the need for wine to relax me. And then if I choose to have wine, that's a conscious choice. It's not a habit. Hopefully that's making sense to you. So you think about what your habit's going to be, and how that's going to impact on your goals and what you're trying to achieve. And again, if you need to do this offline, replay the video, that's fine. But that's step 5. Really, really simple. And as I've talked through this wine thing with you, I didn't know I was going to use wine as an example, actually. It's amazing how this stuff works. I've just given myself some brilliant advice. I like it when that happens. So I've worked through this process with you. I've now convinced myself that actually tapping and having a meditation is going to be so much nicer than a glass of wine, that I really want to do that now. And hopefully you'll find the same, that when you give yourself enough benefits to letting go of the habit, and you give yourself some nice things to replace it, then you will feel as enthusiastic as I do right now, because I'm kind of thinking, yeah, what do I need wine for? I don't need wine. So this is going to be brilliant. But the final step, step 6, is absolutely crucial. So I definitely need to cover this with you. What we need to do next is to have a reminder, because we have this habit, and we've probably had it for a long time, of doing whatever the thing is that we do, drinking wine at the end of the day, going to bed late and all that kind of stuff. And we need to have a reminder that's going to tell us to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a post-it note. I'm going to do it right now, otherwise I will forget. So I get my nice, oh, hello, show you that, nice bright yellow post-it notes, and I'm going to write tap now, and I'm going to put it over the off button of my computer. So when I go to turn my computer off, well, it's on my computer. Actually, I use the shutdown thing, don't I, on my Windows. But anyway, when I see that, it's going to remind me that I'm going to do some tapping. And when I do that tapping, actually, if I write on there as well, then meditate, that's going to remind me. So that when I switch off my computer at the end of today, and I've done all of my work and edited all my videos and all that stuff and social media and blah, 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 all the things I have to do, I will be able to remind myself to do my tapping and then to go and do my meditation. Because if I don't put a reminder, I'm going to slip straight into that old habit, because that is like, it's been there a long time and it's ingrained. Now, I'm going to see my lovely friend Reb later at Laptop Friday, and she's the lady who taught me NLP originally, and she used this analogy of like a ball, you know, like the French sort of little balls that you play with on the beach, rolling through the sand. And the first time it rolls along the sand, it makes kind of a shallow groove. And then if you roll it through the sand again, it makes a deeper groove. And then you roll it again and a deeper groove. And if you imagine you've done that for years, that ball's rolling along a chasm, a very deep chasm. So that's a habit that's been ingrained. And so it's easier for the ball to roll along that groove than it is for it to turn off. It can't turn off. It's just going to roll along the groove. So what we're creating is a new groove. We create a new groove. When we start this new groove, it's only going to be a shallow groove. But the more days we do it in a row, the more that groove is going to get deeper and deeper, and eventually the old groove will disappear. It won't be needed anymore. Thank you, Tina. I will give Reb your regards. It's lovely to know that my friends know each other. This is amazing. So that's why we need to remind ourselves, because we're all human beings. We've got a lot on, and as soon as we're busy and we're not thinking, straight into that old habit, and that'll be that. Now, an important point: if you do find yourself going into your old habit, this is not an excuse to beat yourself up. This is an excuse to go, oh wow, I'm doing that old habit again. Well done for noticing. Right, now I'm going to switch over to my new habit. Okay, so we're not going to have a go at ourselves. We're going to say, oh, well done for noticing I was doing that. Now I'm going to switch to the other one and make a conscious choice. Okay, and then if that happens more than once, possibly you might need to change your reminder around. So my post-it note here on my computer is bright yellow and glary and noticeable, but of course I'm going to get used to that. So I need to move it around, or get a different colour post-it note, or put a reminder on my phone, or whatever it is that's going to switch it up and keep reminding me over and over again to do my new habit. And eventually that will become a new, deeper groove, and the other groove will be completely gone. Hope that's making sense. So that's how you can ditch a habit for good. For good, it'll be gone. Once you've made a new groove, that old groove is gone, that old habit is gone. And that's how you can do it. Really simple, 6 simple steps. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Now, as I've said a few times through the video, sometimes we need to take things a bit deeper. Sometimes there is a habit that's been there. Maybe you can't get to what the benefits are, or you can't get to why it started. You need some help, and that's where I come in, because that's what I do. I'm really good at this stuff, if I do say so myself. So if you are wanting to if you are wanting to go a bit deeper, and you're finding it not easy to work through this on your own, then sometimes it can only be shifted by finding and dissolving the subconscious reasons underneath the surface, which of course is what I'm really good at. So I've got an offer for you. It's called the Summer Blockbuster, and in this session, it's online. I will be able to help you get some clarity. So we'll talk about where you are now, we'll talk about where you want to be, and we're going to find out what's stopping you, and we're going to get to at least your sort of one main belief or issue or block that's keeping you stuck in that situation. And then what I'll do is I'll make sure you've got clear next steps so you can move forward and smash through those blocks and get where you want to go. So it's called a summer blockbuster. If that's something you're interested in, then you can either message me through my page and talk to me through there, or I will put a link in the description box when I edit the video in a minute after the live. So there'll be a link there that you can use to apply for a session. So I've only got a limited number. I can't do millions of these things because obviously we've all got limited time. So that's why there's an application process, so that I can make sure that it's the right timing for you in order for you to have one of these sessions. But even doing the application form actually will give you a lot of clarity, so by all means do that anyway. So yeah, look out for the link in the description. So please do go away and address your habits using this process. Go back through the video as many times as you need to. I will, a bit later when I come back from Laptop Friday, I will write out the 6 steps, or maybe I'll be able to do it before I go. Anyway, I'll put the 6 steps in the description as well, so that you've got those written down for you, and then let me know how you get on. Let me know how you get on with your habits, because I would love to hear from you. So that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Next week, we will be meeting here again at 9:30 for the next Feel Good Friday, and I will be sharing with you one simple question that will stop negative thoughts in their tracks instantly. So Libby, this might be a good one for you. You talked about negative thoughts being an issue for you. So join me at 9:30 or catch me on the replay, and make sure you've liked my page so that you get the notifications and all that good stuff. So Tina, just seeing your comment there, we can get groovy. We certainly can. Groovy with our habits. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will look forward to speaking to you really soon, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that video and found it really useful. Do please go away and do the thinking that goes along with that video. Don't just watch it and leave it and forget you ever saw it. I need you to do something with this video so that you can feel better and have a great life and all that stuff. So do please follow through on this video. So if you did like it, please feel free to share it with anyone you think it might help as well, because the more people I can help, the happier I will be. So if you'd like to join me next Friday for Feel Good Friday, it will be at 9:30 on my Facebook page, as always, which is facebook.com/theFeelGoodCoach, and head over there at 9:30 and you will see me going live, and you can join in, or you can just catch the replay over there, or alternatively you can just hang out here, and if you're subscribed you will see my the replay appear in your subscription box. So next week's video is going to be about affirmations, and the tool that I like to use that is a slightly different. I've already made a video about this tool here on my channel, so feel free to go and look up that video. I'll put it in the card up here so you can go and check it out. But obviously I'm going to be doing this live, so there might be questions and comments and things that will add an extra bit of depth to it. So if you want to watch it in a different way, watch it again to reinforce what you've learned, or if you haven't seen that video and you just want to see the live version, then just join me for that. So I hope you have a fabulous day, and it just remains for me to say to you, have a feel good day, and I will speak to you in the next video.